Today we're going to practice making words that are multiple syllable words that contain closed syllables and open syllables and silent E syllables. So there are lots of different kinds of syllables. 3 different ones that we are going to talk about today, and we're going to sort right now, are closed syllables, open syllables, and silent E syllables. Okay, now there are some important things to know about these types of syllables. So a closed syllable ends in a consonant and an open syllable ends in a vowel. Now remember, vowels are A, E, I, O, U, and sometimes Y if it makes the sounds E or I. So a consonant is anything that is not a vowel. So I'm going to just write up, I'm going to write right here, A, E, I, O, U, okay? So a consonant in a closed syllable, a consonant is anything that's not a vowel, okay? Now, there are also silent E syllables, and this one's probably the easiest because it ends in an E. Well, it ends in a consonant and then an E. So we're going to say it ends in a C for consonant and then an E, okay? So there's also something important to know about the sounds that the vowels make in these different types of syllables. So in a closed syllable that ends in a consonant, the vowel makes its short sound. Actually, I'm just going to write short vowel sound. And if the syllable is open, the vowel makes the long sound, which is the same thing as saying it says its name. Okay? Same thing with a silent E syllable. The vowel will make its long sound or say its name. So let's look at some examples because this is a little bit confusing. So we've got a bunch of syllables up here on the top, and I'm going to sort them into closed, open, or silent E. Okay, so let's look at this one here, W-E. Well, what does it end in? It ends in an E, and that is a vowel, so it's an open syllable. So we're going to put it there. Now let's look at another one that ends in an E. This one here is a little bit different because it has a vowel, then it has a consonant, then it has an E. So that would be a silent E syllable. Now let's look at how we would say these words. So this one here says we. I know that because it says that the vowel needs to say its name if it ends with a vowel, so we. The one I put over here, is 8. I know that because it ends in a silent E, and that makes the other vowel say its name. Okay, let's look at some of these other ones. All right, let's look at this one, D-E-N-T. It ends in a consonant. That means it's closed. And that means that that E is not going to say its name. It's not going to say E. It's going to say eh. Okay, so that would be d-e-n-t, dent. Okay, let's look for all the other closed syllables. All the other syllables that don't end in a vowel. This one doesn't end in a vowel, so that must be k-n, ken. This one doesn't end in a vowel, so that must be t-el, tell. Let's see. this one does not end in a vowel either, so that must be v, an, ven. Okay, if I'm looking at the rest of these, it looks like all of these end in vowels, right? We've got O endings, E endings, and U endings. So this one has G, O. It's an open syllable, so the O must say its name. The O must say its long sound. So that must be G, O, go. Okay, again, the vowel has to say its name on this one. So P, E, pre. N, O, no. And remember, the vowel needs to say its name on this. So it would be st, oo, stew. The long sound for you is oo, okay? So that is a quick reminder of close versus open versus silent E syllables. All right, let's practice saying some open syllable parts of words. So you're going to repeat after me when I say these. Now, I notice that all of these syllables end in a vowel, meaning that these are all open syllables. And I know that the vowel is going to make its long sound or say its name. Okay? So let's look at the first one. You're going to repeat after me. V, a, they. Your turn. Next one. T, I, tie. Your turn. Next one. P, o, po. Your turn. Good job. All right, now we're going to practice reading a word. So when we have a word that's a longer word that has multiple syllables, it helps us if we start by looking for the vowels. So I am going to start in this word, I am going to highlight the vowels. So we have an A and we have an E. Now, typically, any vowels that are in a word, if they're separated by a consonant, that means that they're separated into two separate syllables. So we're going to have two syllables in this word because there are two vowels that are separated by a consonant. Okay, so I know this is going to be a two-syllable word. Now, when I break it into syllables, I need to decide where I'm going to break it because that is going to make a difference in how the word sounds. So let's say I want to break it right here, okay? We're always going to separate those vowels. So one way I could separate them is by drawing my line here. So now let's say each part. Let's look at just this first part. That syllable ends in a consonant, right? It ends in a B. That means it's a closed syllable, and that means that the vowel is going to make its short sound, ah. So that syllable would be lab, lab. Okay, we got that part. Let's look at the second part now. Okay, so again, that syllable ends in a consonant. It ends in an L. So my E would make its short sound, eh, and that syllable would be L, L. So let's put them together. Lab, L, label, labo. That is not a word that I know. It doesn't sound right, label. I've never heard that word. So I don't think I broke it up correctly. So I'm going to try a different way. So let's look at the bottom part. Again, we have our two vowels, so we know we're going to have two separate syllables, right? And the vowels are separated. The vowels are separated by this consonant here. So the first time I did it, I drew my line after the B, okay? Let's try it a different way. Let's draw our line before the B. Like that. So now let's practice saying these syllables. Now, my first syllable doesn't end in a consonant anymore. Now it ends in a vowel. It ends in an A. That makes it an open syllable. And that means that the A is going to say its name. So that first syllable would be lay, lay. And my second syllable is still closed because it ends in a consonant. So the E is still going to say its short sound, eh. So that second syllable would be b-l, bell, bell. So label, label. Oh, that sounds like label. Now, you're probably thinking, why isn't it spelled label with a U? Well, because there's some words in English where the vowel gets a little bit lazy and you kind of say instead of eh. But you can say label, and you can see that it sounds more like a word you know, label, right? Label is not a word. Label is a word. So that is an example of how breaking a word into syllables, it depends where you break it, because it could make your word sound completely different if you break it in a part that's not correct. Okay, let's try another example. So we have in this word, we have two vowels, right? And they're separated by a consonant. So I know that this is going to be a two-syllable word. I have to decide where I'm going to break my word. So let's say we want to break it here, because we're going to always separate our vowels. So let's break it here. All right, let's look at the first syllable. It ends in a consonant. It ends in D. That means the U will make its short sound, So this would be stud, stud. And then this last part would be ent, student. Student is not a word that I know, so let's try it a different way. So we still have our two vowels separated by a consonant, so we know it's going to be a two-syllable word. Let's try breaking it before the D. Let's try breaking it here. And let's say these syllables. So now my first syllable ends in a vowel. So it's going to make a oo sound. So that would be st-oo, stew. And my last part would be dent, dent, student. That is correct. Okay, last example. We have another word that has two vowels separated by a consonant. So let's start by trying to break it here. The first syllable is closed because it ends in a consonant. So that would be p-ap, pap. And my last syllable says er makes the sound er. So papper, papper. That does not sound right. Let's try it a different way. We've got our two vowels. Let's try breaking it here. Now let's see. Now our first syllable ends in a vowel, so it's going to make the A sound. P-A, pay, p-er, per, paper, paper. That one makes more sense, right? So when you're breaking a word into multiple syllables, you need to make sure that you're sounding out each syllable and seeing which way sounds correct. All right, I hope this video helps. Now go back to Lexia and keep practicing.